This is Ryan House, the Smart City Revolution. Today I'm going to be talking about how I got started in SEO, how you can get started in SEO, and why it's very important to have a business-first approach when it comes to SEO. When I first started learning SEO, I didn't even know what SEO was, nor did I know why I needed it. But it sort of just happened naturally when I started a business while I was still in high school. That makes it sound a lot cooler than it actually was. It was just a door-to-door flyer delivery business. But nonetheless, I still have customers. As you can see from this screenshot here, that's an actual client response that I got. It was also a really good experience dealing with big brands and their needs. But most importantly, if you don't have any customers, you don't have a business. So I collect the flyers that were left at my door, and I would go to the business owner directly. And if they weren't there, then I'd call or email them. And one of them had emailed me back asking if I had a website, and that's when everything changed. It was then that I decided to do some research and see how can I get people to come to my website. I kept seeing SEO pop up over and over again, so I decided to give it a shot. Once I saw the power it had to transform a business, I was instantly hooked. I now had 4 ways to generate leads. But the main point is, I had a motivation to learn because it dealt directly with my business. It was real life with real money. There wasn't any simulations or testing. So it was easy to stay engaged, ask the right questions that I needed that applied to what I was doing, and then build off the progress from there. But I knew that just having a website wasn't enough. So I designed a landing page, which is what people would come to when they clicked on a Google ad. When people are typing in door-to-door flyer services, at this time needed my website to pop up first, or at least in the mix of other companies that were also offering the similar service. But that wasn't even enough. What happens when they click that website? And in my case, mine. Well, when they click that website and go on to my landing page, I needed to make sure that they didn't want to leave, that they didn't want to go and scope out other competitors. So I built it with that in mind. What is everything that's going to go through their head when they're looking at this? Is it affordable? Are they trustworthy? How can I get in touch with them? So that's the call to action. And this is actually the original book that I had learned how to do paid search. So we'll get more into what paid search is, as this channel has mostly talked about organic before. And so aside from people paying for my services, the other really valuable part was I was able to get feedback immediately. So when it was whether it was people calling me, whether it was people emailing me, they would ask me questions. And the more questions that they would ask me, I would take those and I would put something on that landing page that would answer it for people that probably had similar questions. I know that can be a little bit hard to visualize, so here's what happened when I actually typed in door-to-door flyer delivery today. When I clicked on the first ad, this is what it brought me to. So this would be considered their landing page. It's just another search engine. I would say this is a great example about why people don't get the best return on paid search efforts, and also why this is poor UX. So this is the second company that was posted in that ad set that you saw. While the setup on this landing page isn't too bad, if you notice, I put door-to-door flyer delivery, and this one is talking about print. So if you notice on the right side there, it says upload artwork. I would probably highlight that as the biggest piece, especially if there's a paid ad for it. It is passable though, but it could be done a lot better. Oddly enough, if I was an actual customer, they would have lost me because I did miss it the first time. This is the third one and probably the best one that I saw. As you can see there, it says superior quality and timely delivery. They made that a lot easier than the second one did, and the first for that matter. They also did a good job of highlighting the benefits for the customer and then putting a call to action, that get started button in red. That was a good touch. If I'm in a hurry and I'm a business owner, that third one probably would have won the business. So you can see why understanding who your customer or potential customer is so important. And if I actually did sign up with them, why having a business first approach is so important to the amount of revenue that you make and the growth and health of your company. And if you don't have a business of your own, if you're going to do SEO for someone, please approach it the same way that you would if you owned your own business. Reputation is important not only in the SEO industry, but in business as well. And having someone to be able to vouch for you is priceless. So here's how you can take action. So the best place to start is to start with the business goals first. It works best if it's your own. When it's your own business, you'll have more motivation to see it through since you know that your work is directly going to be related to how you're generating new leads in business. But if you don't have a business or a business website, ask a family friend or a friend that has a business website and see if they'll allow you to practice. 2, live examples are better than simulations. As the saying goes, you can read about skydiving all you want, but it cannot replicate the feeling of actually jumping out of the plane. And while it might be a lot of pressure, getting out of your comfort zone now and during a live example will make it a lot easier in the future when the stakes get a little bit higher. Knowing how to deal with that stress and then thriving under that pressure will set you apart from so many SEOs. The third step is you want to read case studies that are similar to the business that you're working on. Because when you can see the tactics and strategies that were used for something that is very similar to what you're working on, you're going to be able to take the best of that and work on what's important to get the results that you need. There's a lot of bad SEO advice out there. So my advice is to actually read the case studies, and then once you get comfortable and have the foundation of knowledge, you'll be able to know what kind of information that you're looking for and who's a good source or not. Number 4, learn as you go. As you heard from my example earlier, you're going to make mistakes. That's just a part of the game. So instead of getting paralyzed by the fear of starting and burying yourself into yet another page in the textbook, learn on the job. That's how you develop mastery, is when you have all of those little situations that you know, all the tiny little mistakes that you made, and then how you fixed it. That's what they don't tell you online. So look at the learning process like you would a piece of furniture from IKEA. Have your instruction manual, which is the tips and tricks that you'd find online, and then have your website, which is the furniture, and assemble it piece by piece. You want to be able to answer questions like, how many links have you built in a month before? How long has it taken you to format on-page elements? What tactics have you seen the best success with? What works for you? What doesn't work? What's your favorite thing to do? Those are all questions that people with experience in SEO can answer. People that have only used textbooks or online training, it's very easy to tell. Number 5, start free. That's another awesome thing about SEO, is that if paid search is a little bit too intimidating or the stakes are a little bit too high, you're dealing with a business owner that can't afford to make mistakes and put budget aside for paid search, there's always organic search, which is free. So if that's not a possibility, where you don't have a live business website or a family friend to donate their business website to you, you can always start one for free by just starting a blog. Go to blogger.com, Blogspot. There's a lot of options. But the important thing is that you at least have a website that you have access to. So the thing is, it takes a little bit longer for organic search results to show. So don't get discouraged. Measure results by how many quality links did you build? Or how many high quality pieces of content did I write? How many of my on-page elements passed the checklist test? Just focus on doing the right things and the results will come. But the main lesson here is get it as real as you can. The biggest problem people make is they think they know SEO after a few classes or reading a few articles. You can then see without advanced certifications and the low barrier to entry that SEO has, why the skills gap is so big right now. It takes a certain degree of bravery that most aren't willing to undertake to get good at the craft. The important thing is that you get started and then improve as you go.